Welcome to the Real Estate Roadmap. My name is Asher Black, and once again, I am joined by my good friend and the best lender in all of Chattanooga, Chris.kloc.
Thanks, Asher. I appreciate you having me on.
Yep, absolutely. And today we're going to talk about why the highest offer doesn't always win the home. Representing a lot of buyers and sellers in this market, reviewing dozens and dozens of offers each week with clients, we start to pinpoint different themes and different opportunities to help, whether it's the seller or the buyer, stand out and be more competitive. Chris and I were just talking about that, and we kind of wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about what we're seeing. That way, whether we're working with you or somebody else is, you guys have an advantage in this market. So what I'm seeing right now, Chris, with offers, if I'm representing the seller and they're trying to figure out what's going to be the best chance that they have of selling the home and oftentimes capitalizing on as much of the equity as possible. But I find that there's often two or three more levers that they want to pull that aren't straightforward. What's been your experience with that with buyers?
I think I've seen that my strategy with buyers is very much consultative and to start with the money and end with the house.
Yeah.
So that the buyers oftentimes are not going to back out unless something is catastrophically wrong.
Yeah.
So they don't find a house, get really excited about it, get under contract, and then go try to find a lender or actually get the details of what's going on with the lending.
Yeah.
Push button, get mortgage. It's the biggest lender in the United States.
Yep.
They pride themselves on it's quick and you get a letter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you should be able to borrow $300,000 in 5 minutes. You probably should sit down with somebody, with a professional that does this every single day and figure out, well, does it make sense to buy right now?
Yeah.
What are my pain points? How should I structure this? What program makes most sense? I mean, there are times where we'll use a conventional loan with somebody with a little bit lower credit score because we know, even though maybe payments are a little bit higher, or maybe we know we're able to avoid FHA fees, or we want to be the most competitive because I know that the market will accept conventional offers more.
Yeah.
So we think about product. That's a huge piece. Another piece is making sure that I, as the lender, make my clients stand out when an offer is made.
Yeah. And how do you do that?
Great question. So what I usually do is I find out, I always ask people I'm working with, tell me when you're making an offer.
Yeah.
Because if you, as the listing agent, Asher, if I call you and I say, hey, Asher, this is Chris, local lender here in town. We've done some deals together, or maybe we haven't.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know, I already sat down with Cindy and Joe. Cindy and Joe, we went over the process. We went over the monthly payment, the cash to close.
Yeah.
They had a written estimate of what the pricing would be at this price point. They already know exact strategy on what they need to do on the financing side in order to get this house. Just FYI, I know you maybe know me, you maybe don't. We have a 99.83% approval rating and underwriting.
Yeah.
Then I'm usually quiet because I need to let that sink in. 20% of deals are falling out because of financing right now. So if I say 20%, it is at not an all-time high, but a high over the last several years. They're falling out because of financing, because people are trying to move too quick, and lenders are waiting to do their job until their clients get under contract.
Yeah. So one of my favorite reasons to have Chris on is because, unlike most lenders, he doesn't just, create a letter, like you said, push it and wait. You talk to the listing agents.
Oh, often.
Yeah. And understanding that there are things that are more valuable sometimes than money. What does that conversation look like that you found has really helped out the buyers that you're working with?
Oftentimes, if they're being talked to by several different people, I might be able to get a little bit more information without being nosy, but just asking. I might just ask the question. They don't have to tell me, hey, we're putting in this offer. Do you have any other offers? And I know you, as a buyer's agent, would be asking that as well.
Yeah.
But I find that it makes them say, oh, no lender ever calls me. And I get that response often. And I say, well, it's because I'm so confident in this client and the fact that they'll close that, John, I'm willing to put my reputation on the line.
Yeah.
And I've got a really good reputation. So it's important to me because in a place like Chattanooga, the biggest small town or the smallest big town you've ever heard of or not heard of, it's very important that I protect my reputation.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things that, as I'm representing different sellers who maybe they're looking at a multiple offer situation, we actually had one last week where we got 5 different offers and all of them except one was financed. The cash was a little bit lower, but what we did, the decision we made as I was advising them on all the different offers, the main thing what they wanted to do, obviously, price is great. Like who
Mm-hmm.
offers the best price, but who's going to be the most confident
Mm-hmm.
that we can expect, hey, we're going to see at the closing table? Because if 20% of deals that are falling out due to financing, as the listing agent, I need to ensure darn well that that's not going to be the case
Mm-hmm.
with any one of the folks that we're going to allow ourselves to go under contract with. So, from my perspective, when I see 4 different financed offers, first off, rarely do I ever see someone actually calling me and actually saying, "Hey, by the way, they're great, they're ready to go." So that knocks my socks off, right? So number one, having the lender come and convey the confidence that these folks are going to close, but also, sometimes aside from that confidence, maybe it's the timeline, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to close in 21 days. Like, I mean, that's about what you close quicker loans at, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a great point to bring up because oftentimes people that maybe not as experienced, or maybe they just think, oh, the seller wants to close quick. Let's just write a quick
Yeah.
offer.
Like
And
realtors or buyers.
well, buy most of the time it's the realtor
Okay.
saying, hey, we're gonna close quick.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the seller wants, so I
Yeah.
think that's why it's important that you're represented by a good real estate agent so they
Yeah.
can ask questions to uncover the information and the pain
Mm.
points so that we can satisfy the pain points.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen a lot with you and with other people that we ask the question and we beat out cash offer close in 14 days because
Yeah.
we'll close in 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they love that.
And that's exactly right. I mean, if you're looking at, hey, what's the main objective of the seller? Yes, they want to sell. Yes, most of the time they want to capitalize on as much of the equity as possible. Yes, they want that confidence, right? So we got those 2 pieces, but there's a third variable that sometimes is present. And when it is, that's a huge opportunity for guys like you and I
Mm-hmm.
to be able to go in and have that conversation. That's where negotiation comes in. Because you see so many offers just going to the agent with really no conversation.
There's no story.
Yeah. Like, hey, what's important to you, Mr. Listing Agent, about, getting this home sold? Is there anything outside of price and really the confidence of the loan product that's going to help your sellers be really excited and confident? I mean, gosh, you'd be shocked at the amount of times that I've got folks say, yeah, I mean, that's a great question. It's really, we don't even want to close for another 45 days because
We don't have a house yet.
yeah, we don't have a house. It's still within the first 2 years of purchasing. We've got 30 years worth of furniture and items and memorabilia that we need to move. And that would just stress my folks out. So I have found it's crazy that something that simple, like the intentional call, that helps people win at 10, 20, $30,000 below what the highest offer price is.
It's about being engaged.
Yeah.
You have to be engaged in the process. You have to have somebody that is genuinely on your team and wants you to win. I think that's the key.
Yeah, absolutely. And then from a buyer side, I mean, when we've had buyers who recognize, wow, we're FHA, and I think of Alex and Deva. That's a great one. If you're watching this, shout out to you guys. But I think of them, they were an FHA buyer, and we beat out cash, not just beat out cash, but the cash was higher. Why was that?
A piece of it has to be that we're calling and asking questions because if I remember correctly on that one, they wanted to close a long close. And that was the exact scenario as the cash said, hey, we're going to close quick. I think we were able even to secure a whole bunch of seller concessions as well.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for a lot of the folks that I hear that are going, well, gosh, I can't compete with cash. Gosh, I can't put the highest price in all the time. I need seller concessions because I don't want to come out of pocket with as much, or maybe I want to buy that interest rate down like we talked about last time. This is the value in at least having a conversation with someone who's really succeeding. And Chris, I put my name on him. He's really succeeding with helping a lot of folks find that creative alternative to ensure that you're not throwing money away. You're actually having the competitive advantage. And like the title of this podcast is, you're beating offers out that are higher and possibly in some regard more favorable. Is that fair?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. And I think that's the strategy piece. I think that's what's maybe lacking, not everywhere, but strategy is lacking. And that's how we can always add value that way by slowing down, not trying to paper process. Let's see how many pre-approval letters I can get out there.
Yeah.
It's no, how many strategies can I create with my buyers
Yeah.
so that I can then give it to the real estate agent so they know exactly how to write the offer
Yeah.
to satisfy what they want on this analytical side of the
That's exactly
finances.
right. No, and that's a great point. And Chris, I appreciate all the help just understanding it from a loan
Yeah.
side, a mortgage advisor side. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, this is a fun market.
Yeah,
I know a bunch
very
of people
fun.
are scared about it. I think there's a lot of opportunity, and
Yeah,
we continue to have a lot of people looking to buy and sell. And
yeah.
I think if it's the right time to buy and sell, let's do it.
Awesome. Got any questions? Have any questions about buying, selling? What kind of loan product you guys would best be suited for? You've got Chris.kloc. His information will be down below. And if anything comes up and you have any questions for me, mine is as well. Until next time.